How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Metal Rebellion. I'm your host, Jesse Morgan, aka Slammerella. Today we are in full slam gear as we hit Slam and Brutal Death Metal collection video part 8, I believe. So yeah, today's shirt is a fat ass red gutrectomy shirt and my self-made DIY slam flat brim that is going to make me lose all the cult points. So that's for you elitists. Let's dive into this. So the first band we got here is a band, for whatever reason, I probably mentioned this before, but I feel like they were from Brazil or South America for some reason, but they're not. They are actually from California, USA, and that is Gorry with Manic Thoughts of Perverse Mutilation. This is their first album from 2008. This is a remaster. This is definitely not the original one. I got this through CDN Records. Thank God that Amputated Vein decided to re-put this out. Otherwise, I would never own a copy because it was hard to find and pretty rare. I'm happy they'd re-put this out for 2018 because, like I said, this was recorded in 2007 and released in 2008 originally. Just some excellent technical brutal death metal with probably the odd slam here or there. This stuff really just gets you headbanging and in that brutal mood. Just I love that fucking fat murderous butcher with his face falling off there, doing some impromptu autopsy there, some butchering. And this has just some of the greatest, just heaviest fucking songs ever. Excellent vocals, excellent guitar work, excellent drumming, just an all-around great brutal death metal band. So yeah, besides this though, they also have a 2010 album called Awakening Pestilent Beings, as you see there. Once again, all these are reissues though, and got them all through CDN Records via Amputated Vein. So stoked to have these in my collection because, once again, I thought I'd never be able to own them because of how hard to find they were and how expensive they were if you did find them. Yeah, and once again, most of the time, if I try to find stuff that's rare or not normally seen, like on labels and stuff, I don't really get my stuff either through eBay or Discogs. I do try to go through like the labels and bands first, but if I can't find it there, eBay or Discogs is normally where you're going to find everything. There's that second album by this band. And the third album in 2018. This is Divine Indigenous Sacrament. I believe the first album is probably the best one, but then they came out with this, and this is really crazy stuff. They really amped up the technicality and speed and aggressiveness on this one. You definitely want to check out their third release here. Gorry is just barbaric and ruthless, and they are definitely some of the craziest brutal death metal. So Divine Indigenous Sacrament from 2018 by Gorry. Really good stuff. And their logo just kicks so much ass. I want to eventually get a shirt of that on it as well, so check them out. Next up is a band that kind of seems to get forgotten about a little bit here and there, but because they haven't really done too much in a while, that's probably why. This is Gutfed with Reign of Pure Madness and Contagious Perversion from 2012, their only full-length album. This one's from More Generation Records. Now, Gutfed is a slam / brutal death metal band from Istanbul, Turkey, so that's an interesting place of all locations to have slam and brutal death metal come from. And they started in 2011, currently on hold for unknown reasons, but hopefully they get back together and making a second album. So get on that, guys. You guys are really good. Now these guys are one of those slam bands that have the bass drops, so if you enjoy that, get your fill with Gutfed's Reign of Pure Madness and Contagious Perversion from 2012. But besides that, they have a split in 2012 called Drowned Through 4 Ways of Vomiting. Put it right here. And that is a really, really good split. I need to get my hands on it. Has a couple of really good bands on it, that being Begging for Incest, Extermination Dismemberment, and Gorreputation. And Gorreputation just released a full length pretty recently, so check that out if you know what's good for you. So after that, they also released this split called Guttural Carnival. A lot of you who are into slam and brutal death metal should know about this split. It's probably one of the most favored and renowned brutal death metal splits out there. A lot of great bands on here, being Paroxysmal Butchering, Encephalectomy, Traumatomy, and Engorgement. Yeah, and not to mention Gutfed. So I really probably don't need to talk too much about this split because a lot of you either have it or know about it. But yeah, really good split with a bunch of good bands on there. Glad to have it. And I think I actually have the page for this on Facebook because it wasn't on there for whatever reason. I had to make actually 3 different pages for bands and splits because they just didn't seem to have one, and it needs it on there. I think I have it for this, and I think I have the Horrendous Human whatever, the split that I showed off in the last video. So anyways, pretty cool stuff from Gutfed. Awesome slam brutal death metal from Istanbul, Turkey. Check it out. Next is a kind of an interesting genre that's been kind of coming up in the more recent years, that being Slamcore. And one of the progenitors of that is Gutrectomy. This is their first EP with Slamageddon. Probably really well known. This will probably be one of those dividing bands or EPs. Either you really enjoy it or you can't stand this version of death metal. This is Slamcore, like deathcore slam hybrid. I enjoy it, obviously, hence the shirt, hence the albums I'm showing off now. Just really good stuff. They're from Germany. It started in 2011. This is the 2014 EP. And then after a while, I wasn't sure if they're going to make anything else, but they did finally. They came out with a full-length album called Slampocalypse. This has the normal Slamcore sound that they're going with, and then they amped it up a little bit, got a little more brutal, a little heavier, and this was just an excellent follow-up to Slamageddon. Really enjoyed this release from 2017. Really good stuff. Highly recommend. And I believe there might be some bass drops in this. I can't remember. It's been a while since I actually listened to this specific release, but maybe. All I know is there's some really sick riffs in here. Very head-banging and groovy sounding. So definitely check out Gutrectomy's Slampocalypse album. We might use this for the thumbnail, so here we go. If the glare will fuck off. Alright, second last album here, and this one is, holy Jesus, so good. This is Hemophagia. This is their only full length, called From Sickness to Cult, released in 2007. Such a good album. Great riffs. The vocals are super duper like low and guttural, and then every now and then you have that kind of like airy death metal vocals in there as well, so you get kind of a dichotomy, but like a brutal dichotomy. There's no highs or anything. It's just 2 versions of low vocals. And besides this, I think there is a demo in 2006 called Triple Shot. I don't know if they actually made physical copies of it, but yeah, this one was really good. Highly recommend it. Some excellent slamming brutal death metal from Spain, so you know it's going to be crazy. And these guys started in 2005. They're probably on hold right now. I don't know if they're still going or not, but yeah, I wish they'd release more because this was a really good album. Highly recommend. And the last thing on here, you might want to listen to this before you listen to Hemophagia because it's not quite as good. Like, I would definitely recommend Hemophagia over this, but this is Hell Squad's second album with Tortured in 2014. When I first discovered them, I thought they were really good, but after kind of going back and listening to it now, it kind of pales in comparison to a lot of the stuff I just showed off. But if you haven't listened to slam or brutal death metal in a while, and you want something that'll ease you into it, Hell Squad will do it. It's not too super duper heavy. The production is not super intense. It's just kind of the meat and potatoes kind of slam brutal death metal stuff. There is the odd song on here that is kind of groovy and like very bouncy. I enjoyed them a lot more back in the day, I think, when I was discovering all a bunch of different brutal death metal and slam bands. But yeah, so anyways, this is their second album from 2014. Besides that, they also have Knife of Perfect Mutilation, which is their first album released in 2012. And then they have a third album called Liege of Inveracity from 2015. And they also have 3 other EPs and a split. So if you actually do enjoy Hell Squad, they've got quite a bit of a discography to go through and pick up and collect if you're into collecting. And if you want to know where they're from, they are from the slam capital of the world, Jakarta, Indonesia. Like, Jakarta and Bandung just seem to be like the hugest slam and brutal death metal places in the world to be right now, with some of the best music in the game coming from it. They were around since 2009. They're still going and pumping out stuff, so you'll probably see some more stuff from them in the future. But yep, really good. Released on Severed Records and Pathologically Explicit Recordings, whatever the fuck that is. But yeah, Hell Squad with Tortured from 2014. So that's it. That is my giant stack of slam and brutal death metal for this episode. Anywho, let me know which one of these you have in your collection. If all, cool. If none, hey, now you got something to go check out and listen to. Let me know which one of these is your favorite. And that is it. Keep slamming, my dudes. For Glory, for the Rebel Alliance, Slammerella out. Keep slamming.